Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Yazil, and this is Heal and Reveal channel messages. How are you all doing today? How are you feeling? How are you dealing with this Mercury retrograde? I think we have 3 planets in retrograde right now. There's a lot of energy surrounding rebirth, being born again, right? Transforming, letting things dissolve and transform into something new. I keep hearing over and over and over, let it go, let it go, let it go. And then yesterday, the song, how does it go? Let it go, let it go. Frozen. I heard the let it go for Frozen. So I really hear Spirit calling for us as a collective to let some things go. We have been diving deep on transforming, on letting karmic cycles end, getting to the truth, revealing our third eye, awakening our third eye, and all these things, all these messages. If you haven't seen them already, please feel free to check out those messages. I can see that all those messages are leading up to one thing, and that is the rebirth, right? Going from one person, one way of thinking, one mentality, maybe one lifestyle, and then transforming into a completely new one. Some of you, if you have found this channel, you have already started the awakening. You are already going through it. You probably are going through the symptoms and the signs of an awakening, probably trying to figure out what's going on with yourself, how to deal with it, how to manage it, right? How to cope with it. And that is why I am making these videos. This is why I am channeling these messages in order to reveal what we need to heal, what we need to see, and what we need to understand in order to step fully into our awakening. My awakening journey started a few years ago, but I do realize there's different levels to it. This has not been a cakewalk. It has not been easy. So for all of you who find my channel, who resonate with these messages, who resonate with my energy, just know that I am sending you so much love, support, okay, and strength, because it takes a lot of inner strength to go through the awakening, to be reborn, to die of our old ways, of our lower nature, over and over again, to be reborn into our higher version. Okay, so I asked Spirit what was the center of this message, and I just love how the confirmation comes in. Okay, the center of this message was rebirth. Okay, here's the card. It is the rebirth. Okay, that is the energy we're going to tap into today, and I'm going to tell you how powerful this is. Okay, so rebirth is the center of this message. So you may be getting ready to go through a rebirth, or you have already started the process. This is a timeless reading. So whenever you find this, let it be what it needs to be for you. Okay, it is a general channel message, but it is surrounding those who are ready to transform, who are tired of being stuck, feeling stagnant, and knowing that something greater is on the horizon. You know that the version of you now will not always be here. You know that there are dreams, desires, and ambitions that you are going towards, that you have not fully became the person who is going to experience that, but you can feel the pull. Okay, another way to know that this message aligns with you is that things are falling apart. People are separating from you. Things are ending. Doors are closing. You may be getting no's, okay? Separations, disagreements, chaos. You're starting to question a lot about yourself and the world and what's going on with you and your spirituality, okay? This is a very, very specific energy, but I know that a large group of people in the collective is going through this right now, and it is very uncomfortable, okay? This card is so amazing. This card of Rebirth is so amazing because I'm going to tell you, for the last week, there has been construction outside of my house. And I already knew that this construction has something to do with me spiritually, or something to do with the collective spiritually, because the way it was irritating me, okay? The big bulldozers come in, the trucks, the noise, all this loud noise, and these big bulldozers are digging these holes from one end from my house all the way up the street, and they're digging these holes, and there's piles of dirt everywhere. And usually I would sleep. I sleep through the early parts of the day, but with all this noise, I've had to wake up. I can hear all the noise, the movements, and I've just been so frustrated. So I started to notice my frustration, and what was frustrating me was me seeing them destroy the grass, right? Destroy the earth and rip everything up. And I just felt like, why are you doing this? Right? And then I can see that they're like adding in some new piping. They're putting in like this new system. I think it has something to do with water, so that maybe the water could flow better or something. I'm not sure, but there's a lot of pipes that I see that they're putting in the ground. So as I realized that these pipes need to be there, I'm starting to get the message, and I'm like, okay, maybe something is going on with the piping system, and this is going to help in the long term. So I hear myself like, talking to myself, but I'm looking at the grass and I'm looking at the holes, and I don't like the way it looks, right? Because every day that I look out my window, I used to see the beautiful grass, the trees, and that was like my serenity, my peace. But now these bulldozers and all this stuff is destroying the earth, and I'm just so upset. And then I hear Spirit say to me, clear as day, take the message. Take the message. So I'm like, okay, I'm sitting there and I'm watching what they're doing. And they're digging up the dirt. And as they dig up this dirt, there's piles and piles everywhere. And after they finish, they put the dirt back in. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, that dirt will never be in the same place that it once was. That grass will never be in the same place that it once was. Even though they've dug up everything, they put some new stuff in, and now they're putting it back. It's all rearranged. It's all in a new pattern, a new direction. Nothing will ever be the same there. And now grass has to regrow on top of it. So this is what I was seeing, and I'm like, okay. So I already took transformation from it. I'm like, okay, this is being transformed. But the deeper message, and this is what I kept hearing, deeper, like dig deep. They're digging. They're pulling up and removing some things in order to replace something in the ground, which I feel represents our roots, right? Something deep within us has to be looked at, has to be upgraded, has to be replaced. And it's going to take work. It's going to take effort. So I started seeing all the bulldozers and all the working men as like my spiritual team. No one person could do that job by themselves. Everybody was working together to get this done. And once it was done, they put all the dirt back, and then they continued forward down the line. Today, reading this card, the card asks for you to dig deep. Clear as day, it says, Pluto is asking for you to dig deep and look within yourself to find what's in there that needs to be revealed. Okay. It says, says here, it says, Pluto calls for 3 actions. First, to dig deep. Second, to be willing to transform. And third, to use your power wisely. It says Pluto calls you to drill down, dig up what is worthy and bring it to the surface. Then rinse away the dirt and uncover the gold. Bring up riches whenever you dig deep into your soul's work. Notice obsessions and nuances. These signs of stress must be listened to and healed. But don't allow them to control you. Pluto reminds you that you can't hold on to the past, but you can take care of yourself. To begin this work, you may have to let go of an old form, as a caterpillar must be to become a butterfly. Mourn what you've left behind. Then get curious about what is to arrive. Examine the power dynamics of the situation. Neither give yours away nor misuse your power over others. Step out of a power struggle and into self-improvement. Okay? I thought this was so powerful. And then it asks, what are you here to do? Why are you here? This isn't a rhetorical question. Strip down to the essentials and come back to what really matters to find the answer. I thought that was so beautiful that this card came out today, and the construction workers finished the portion in front of my house today. So this came full circle, the message to dig deep, to look within, to find your gifts, to find who you truly are and what really matters to you in order for you to come into the truth of who you truly are. But it is going to take some work, okay? So that is going to be the center of the energy here today. We're going to affirm a protection over us as we channel these messages and just ask for permission and guidance before we get in. Most kind and gracious divine, we thank you for this day. We thank you for clarity. We thank you for confirmation of guidance, direction, the answers. We thank you for the clarity. We thank you for leading us here today to be in a space of openness. We thank you for the mind and the heart to want to be better, to want to grow, to want to awaken to our highest version. We know that it is not always easy, but we do affirm our protection and our strength through this journey. Today, I affirm that I be a clear channel to bring the messages for the collective, for myself, and for the greatest good of all of us, to align with our highest versions of selves. We thank you. We open this space up for those who are willing and open for love, for clarity, for direction, for guidance. And we ask that our intuitions be clear, that we will know what is for us and to know on all levels what this message means for us. We thank you in advance, and we cast away any spirits, energies, or negative motives that are not in alignment with this place of peace. We thank you. Ashe. Okay then, so let's get this started. So we have rebirth already present. Getting ready for the rebirth or going through the rebirth. Another thing I kept hearing was greater later, okay? And we know that time does not work in accordance to our mind and what we think and what we feel or what we want. It works the way it works. but I keep feeling this energy of greater later. Excuse me. And I feel as though the greater later is affirming that you are in a form, you are in a place, you are in relationships, situations, you are in certain things now that are reaping some type of benefit, right? You may not be as comfortable as you want. You may not have everything that you truly desire, but it does give you some level of comfort. And when you have some level of comfort in certain situations, it's easy to say, well, I'd rather have this than to have nothing, right? Could you imagine having a meal? I'm just seeing like, I don't know, a canned good of some chicken noodle soup. And you just open the can and it's like that really cheap version. It's like 89 cents. And then when you open the can, it like comes out in like this stuck gelatin form. So when you pour it out, it's literally still the shape of the can. Like this is the soup. And it's food. You're hungry. And you have the option to eat it, right? And you just sit in there. I'm seeing somebody sitting here like, oh, this looks so nasty, but this is all I have. So I'm just going to eat this. And then you look on the can and the can says expired. Okay, it says expired. And it's actually a year expired. So it's 1 year over the expiration date. And you see this on the can and you're looking at the soup and it's nasty looking form. And you're like, oh, should I still eat this? And you smell it and you're like, it don't smell too bad. And you're like, maybe if I just, put some water in it and I start, maybe I try to bring it back to life, I can eat it. So you start on your mission to resurrect this soup. And as you're doing it, you start seeing that it's like clumpy. The carrots are like gray. The chicken looks brown, like this like grayish, greenish brown. And like in your heart, that this is not the healthiest thing. You know that you shouldn't really eat this, but you're like, I don't have anything else. So there's two parts to this. There's the person that says, you know what? I am not eating this because if I eat this, I'm going to end up sick. I'm just going to have to take a chance and eat some crackers. I'm not doing it. I'm just going to go with the crackers. Forget this soup. That's that person. Because that person is saying, I'd rather move forward. I'd rather take something that's better than me than to think that this is my only option, right? You have that person. Then you have the person that says, oh, this is all I have, so I'm going to eat it. And they eat it, and what happens? They get sick, only to realize that they did not have to eat it because they did have the crackers, right? No, the crackers is not as fulfilling as the soup, but the crackers is not rotten. It's not expired. So when I see greater later, it's like, don't go for something that is expired. Don't go and settle for people or places or things that the expiration date is up and you know that it's up. You know that if you call that person, they're going to hurt your feelings or make you mad or hurt or make you upset. You know, if you go to that place, you're going to feel uncomfortable or unseen. You know, if you continue in that relationship, it's going to keep tearing on your energy and making you feel a void and not giving you what you need. You know that these things are not good for you, but you keep choosing them because you say, I don't want to be alone, or maybe I can make it work. Spirit is saying greater later. Leave that alone because there is something much greater waiting for you as you transform. This part of the journey, when you have to choose what you can't see, when you have to choose what is in the unknown, this is the hardest part of the journey, but this is what pushes you into the rebirth, right? Because you say, I don't want to live this life no more. I don't want to get the same results I've been getting. I don't want to keep feeling unsatisfied. I don't want to keep feeling sick and tired and stressed and exhausted after dealing with certain people or being in certain places. You say you don't want that no more. So that part of you must fall away. And then you step into the new. Okay? So for all of you who are struggling, and believe me, I know that it's hard. It's not easy to choose something that is not in front of you yet. To choose and have faith and have hope that something greater is on the other side. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to trust yourself, and truly you have to love yourself enough to say, I deserve better. I want better. I will get better. I don't have to eat this crappy soup, okay? I hope you guys can follow what I'm saying about that. But it's just so clear. And I have to take that message because it's so powerful on a lot of times how we choose the alternative. Okay, we choose the thing that's not going to make us happy. And then when we're unhappy, we're trying to figure out, why am I unhappy? Because you're not choosing yourself. Okay, choose what makes you happy, even if it's not in front of you. All right, you guys, we got this. Okay, that is part of the rebirth. Okay, that is part of the rebirth. Let's get this frankincense going here. And we're going to get this message going. All right, so first we're going to take another message from the Star Codes Astro deck. I feel that this will be a good starting point today. Since so much is happening in the planets, so much change is happening. I'm not an astrologer, but I love listening to it. I love finding out about the things that's happening in the planets, because it's always a reflection of what we're going to be experiencing in the planets, and the way they align affects our energy, affects our mood, affects our thoughts. It affects us every day. So I found a lot of great insight. Let's see. Divine, what messages would you like to come out in regards to the rebirth and transformation of the collective? Ooh, look at that. Mercury comes right on out. And I know that we are in the Mercury retrograde. So we have messages. We're going to read that one for sure. We have messages. We have Venus, which is beloved. I know that Venus is going to be doing something powerful on 8/8, so that's coming up. We have Mars, which is motion. And we have past the South Node 3/3. Okay. So I definitely want to look up Mercury because we are in that energy right now. We have 222 and 333. Yes. Okay, so we got 222 and 333. All right. Let's see what Mercury says. It says Mercury symbolizes your mental switchboard, how you think, communicate, and move through the world. The smallest planet ruled rules Gemini and Virgo, and is closest to the sun. Action. Communicate. The mood is quick, fast, and cerebral. Look at your situation from many different sides. Be light on your feet and make sure you have all the information you need. If not, be ready to research, investigate, translate, meditate, check your facts, and learn. Follow up on all lines of communication to make sure others understand what you said and you understand what they intended. Okay? When a quick mind is not connected to the heart, it can cause trouble. Watch out for the busy hamster wheel of the mind, shallow thinking, scattered, dishonest, or glib approaches, and glib approaches and mistakes made within a rush. Mercury was the messenger of the gods. Listen deeply to the messages of your soul, the conduit to spirit, and become the messenger. All right. So messages, communication. I felt as though earlier when I was saying the prayer, I had a lot to say. I felt like I was almost tripping over my words a little bit. So I can feel that definitely that communication, the messages, having a lot to say, but also wanting to be clear on what I'm saying. So that can be a great message to pay attention to what you want to say, how you say it, and to be sure that your communication is coming off clearly. We're going to look at Venus as well. What messages does Venus have? It says, emotions run strong and passions are intense. Be wary of crimes of passions, love addiction, or looking for love in material things. If you are fascinated by the superficial things, if you are fascinated by the superficial aspect of Venus, you can get caught up in appearances or become blind in love. Look deeper. Venus encourages a loving heart to heal your own heart and become a Venusian beacon to the world around you. Develop what the Buddhists refer to as Maitri, loving kindness, benevolence, friendliness, and active interest in others' well-being. Okay. And then we have Mars emotion. These came out together. So the gift of Mars is the higher note of Mars energy manifest as divine guardian. Your potent inner first responder who's ready to be the hero in a dangerous situation and protect you and yours. Okay, Mars urges you to take action, any action, but this can get, Mars urges you to take action, any action, but this can get you in trouble. Jump into motion, but stay in the driver's seat and think through the consequences of your moves. Okay, Mars is raw energy and like the motor of a fine sports car, it can take you far and fast if you add wisdom and guidance. Mars wants you to develop your strength and bravery. So work out and develop muscles or rescue the proverbial underdog. Okay, so watching what you have to say, taking action, building your strength, watching being vain, like paying attention to vanity. Okay, and then what we have here. All right, so the past. It says this situation has roots in some past karmic patterns, the origin of which are not clear. You either need to apply skills that you were born with or look again at old problems and work to heal them. All right. Use this opportunity to heal triggers and patterns from the past. Take them as teaching moments and learn. Then your hard work, your hard-earned skills and wisdom can help you build your future. All right. So it looks like we have the energy is very I would say what I feel, it's very in alignment, right? We have the messages of communication. We have looking at your heart, digging deep, searching, taking action, and healing from the past. All this energy is consecutive in a rebirth, okay? It is all consecutive in healing and moving forward. What sticks out to me is the vanity, right? It's saying paying attention to vanity, being obsessed with looks. And what I'm taking here is not just the physical looks. I'm seeing people being attached to vanity based on perceptions of what something looks like. Earlier, we talking about stripping, letting things fall away, letting things transform. But if you are someone who's having a vain perception, you may not want to let people see you fall apart. You may not want to let people see things break up. The thing that comes to me is clear as day is a long-standing job, right? Or a long-standing marriage, or a long-standing friendship that's based on a group of people that are all connected and maybe have been friends for years and went to school together and college and worked together, and they've raised their kids together. But now it's time for those relationships to dissolve or break away or to separate. And some people may be like, no, I don't want to let this go, because what will people think? What will they say about me that now I'm choosing another path? What will they think about me that I don't believe in this anymore, or that I don't operate in that way of thinking or that lifestyle anymore? What will they think, right? Don't try to keep up with appearances, because a rebirth is about becoming something completely new. The card of rebirth talked about the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. Do you think for one moment that the caterpillar is going to say, oh, well, I used to crawl around the ground and I used to hang out on those leaves over there, but now that those leaves are, I don't know, now that fall is coming and those leaves are falling away, what will I do? How will I live? How will I ever be comfortable again, because those leaves are not there? No, the caterpillar doesn't think about that, because the caterpillar is getting ready to transform into the butterfly. And when it becomes that butterfly, it will see higher, more beautiful, more variety of leaves, trees, the sky, the sun. The entire experience of that caterpillar changes when it becomes the butterfly. Remember, we were talking about greater later. You're on the ground as the caterpillar. Baby, it gets better when you become the butterfly. But you have to be willing to go into that cocoon. You have to be willing to let yourself transform in that cocoon, which means you're going to be pulled away from everyone and everything that you think you know, that you think you need, that you think you love. You're going to be pulled away if they're not in alignment, okay? Some of those people may come back. Some of them may not. But that is not your focus. Do not hold on to self-conscious or vain perceptions about what people think. Because now, more than ever, the transformation, the awakening, it is truly centered around being willing to let go, okay? And the thing about this is, Spirit is saying that these things are going to happen regardless if you're ready or not. The way you deal with them will determine how you move forward, okay? So this is just your message to know that it is okay to release. It is okay to let go, and you don't have to keep up with the appearances or keep up with the Jones, so to speak, on trying to make people think that you are not changing. Okay? Let it all go. All right. Let's see. Get our frankincense here. All right. What other messages concerning the rebirth and transformation do we need at this time? I know this also is patience, 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 patience. I am very impatient. I'll be honest with you. Like, as I was watching those construction workers do their work, I'm like, would you just hurry up? Would you hurry up? Like, that's what I was thinking. And I don't know the process of what that work takes, but I just didn't want to see it. Okay. I just didn't want to look at it. So I'm like, hurry up. Look at that. We have strength. Okay. Shout out to Leo season coming up in a few. Next week, we will be in Leo season. And I will tell you, I will be the first one to tell you, as a Leo sun, this journey takes strength. Okay. It takes strength to go through the rebirth. Okay. Whew. And I can see why Spirit would bring this message during the Leo season, because what it takes, right? What it takes on the heart, because the Leo is centered by the heart, and what it takes to be courageous and bold and to speak your truth, right? We had messages and it was talking about what you say, communication. You may have to tell someone, I am taking a new path. I am no longer in alignment with this. I am changing. I'm evolving. This is not going to work for me. A lot of things that's coming up in the collective right now is this bottled up energy of needing to speak your truth, because the lion will not sit back and live in a lie. It's not happening. We are not going to live in a lie. We can go unaware and unconscious of something for a while. But the moment that our eyes open to something that is not right, that is not in alignment, that is not going to work, we will use our strength, be bold and courageous to tell somebody, this is not going to work. And this doesn't have to be an argument, okay? It doesn't have to be the lower expression of confrontation, but it can get there, okay? So if you are in a place that you need to speak your truth, that you need to talk to someone about something, and you're not in an energy where you can handle saying it from a peaceful place, give yourself time, okay? Because we have this motion, Mars energy, which is fast, it's chaotic, and it is like, just blurt it out and just say what you got to say. You don't care how no one feels. You don't have to do that, okay? I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm just saying that you can choose the higher expression of communication. Take some time away. Take some time to prepare what you want to say. Now, because the Leo is centered by the heart, I'll be the first one to tell you, when my feelings are hurt and someone has hurt me or disrespected me or upset me, a lot of times it's hard, very hard for me to tap into this energy to pull myself back, because I'm just like, wow, what? Like, come on, let's do this right now. But I'm learning that's not the best wisdom, okay? And I feel like that's what Spirit is saying. You don't have to take on the lower self and be confrontational. Watch what you have to say. Watch how you feel. And be bold and courageous, but do it the right way, okay? Look at that. We got victim or warrior, okay? Victim or warrior. How will you see yourself? How will you see yourself? Will you take on the victim mentality when things are falling apart? You find out people are not for you and things are not happening the way you want, will you cry? And please cry if you need to cry, okay? There's nothing wrong with crying. But I'm saying, will you cry that you are a victim, that something is being done to you? Or will you take on the warrior perspective and realize that this is only the beginning, that this has to happen in order for you to become your greater self? Okay? I feel like the victim or the warrior is also part of the rebirth, right? You can live as a victim or you can be reborn as a warrior. All right. Okay, so you ask yourself, do you want to live as a victim or do you want to live as a warrior? Okay. And what I see as far as the rebirth, some of you may have had a victim mentality. Some of you may feel as though you are a victim, right? But look at this picture. Do any part of this picture reflect someone who is weak or vulnerable or less than worthy? No. It shows that there's a distinction between two different sides, but within both sides, there is powerful. There is power, okay? Within both sides, the victim or the warrior, both sides shows power. One side looks golden and one side looks blue. And what I take from that is Spirit is saying what you have been through makes you the warrior. What you have gone through, what you have endured makes you the warrior. And it is up to you to see that you are both, right? A lot of times we can go through so much pain, trauma, hurt, abuse, and we can feel as though we've been victimized, right? But it's the mentality, it's the way you think about it, it's the way you see it that will decide how it will affect you, okay? And I also feel Spirit is saying that if you felt that you have been a victim, you will be reborn as a warrior because it is your experience that makes you a warrior, okay? Yes, it is your experience that makes you a warrior. What other messages would you like for us to receive in regards to this rebirth? Okay. What other messages? Patience. It's a process, okay? Just like the caterpillar has to go through the process, you know, as I said, the construction process outside my window, I kept just hearing, have patience, have patience, have patience, okay? Because I was just so frustrated. I wanted it to be done. I wanted it to be fixed. I wanted everything to be, you know, look at that. We have the Sun card. All right, that Leo energy is coming out strong. Look at all of that. Ooh, that's powerful. So these are the ancient Egyptian deck that mimics the traditional tarot. So we have the Sun, we have the Strength card. All right, so that passion, fire, strength, okay? Everyone says that the Sun card is the happiest card in the deck, okay? Yes, so, ooh, and look how healing just, boom, just flipped over like that. I love it. Healing, and look at the Sun in that image. Wow, look at that. That is beautiful. The Sun comes out and brings healing. Look at those flowers blooming, right? That is powerful. Healing and transformation. Yes. Then we have shadow and light coming out. Yes. Shadow and light. Coming into balance. Coming into harmony with self. Okay? That is the rebirth. When you have incorporated your past, right? Your pain, when you have transmuted it and it has strengthened you. Okay? Because that is what it's here for. I don't care what you've been through, what type of heartache, childhood wounds, personal wounds, past wounds. It is all building your strength. Okay? It is all building your strength. It is all teaching you how to incorporate your shadow and your light so that you can tap into your ultimate power. Okay? This healing is here because the sun is bringing the healing. Look at this beautiful sunflowers and all that energy of the sun is just radiating outward. Okay? Yes. You are being called to continue healing. Okay? In order to be reborn, you have to heal. Look at that. Look at that. We got the lovers. Wow. We have the lovers. I can't help but to see the two, the shadow, the light, the victim, the warrior, the lovers. It's two, right? Which is, it's the coming together. Okay. Then we have the emperor here. We have faith. Keeping the faith. Keeping the faith. We have the star. Wow. Perseverance. Because you have to persevere on this journey. You have to be able to keep the faith and keep going and keep believing even when it's hard, okay? It takes a lot of strength to go through this process, but you are the star, okay? The star, I'm thinking the star of the night and the star of the day. That's the shadow and the light, okay? The star of the day is the sun and the star of the night is here. So we are integrating both parts of ourselves. And then we have justice, balance, okay? Yes, justice and balance. That is that healing. Healing is the ultimate justice. Because what I'm feeling here is what happens when the collective realizes that everything you've been through, from the moment you were born up until the moment that you are watching this video now, everything has been working for your good. What happens when you really tap into that kind of faith, right? When you don't look to the left and you don't look to the right and you do not doubt your path. You do not doubt that being a victim and transforming into a warrior is all the same. That the things that may look like your shadow and the things that you think are good and the things that you may think are bad and the things that people have talked about you about and made you feel ashamed about, what happens when you realize that they are one and the same? Here in your experience to make you powerful. What happens? What happens when you realize that? I'll tell you, it's a rebirth. You become your greatest version. You become very powerful, just as the sun. Look at that. What would we do without the sun? How would the planet live? How would we live without the sun? When you truly Become one with yourself. You are the most powerful force on this planet. Okay? That is divine justice. Okay? That is the most powerful thing of all. You are the star. All right? Don't question it. Don't question it. The lovers. This is divine balance. This is the divine order. Union within yourself. These two people reflect each other. Okay? They look like a reflection of each other. Okay? Wow. And that card, the past that came out earlier, Spirit is saying your past is what qualified you. Your past qualified you for all of this. Do not doubt your experiences. And this is also why it is important not to try to hold on to the past. Because if the past is your diploma, so to speak, to graduate, to go to the next level, why would you try to stay in that grade? Why would you try to stay in the 12th grade if it's time to go to college? Accept your diploma. And that diploma in this realm may look like realizing that certain relationships are not going to work. Realizing that you had to learn certain lessons. You had to get certain insights. You had to be hurt in order to build your strength. You had to awaken your intuition. You had to learn how to value yourself and trust yourself. That is your diploma. Yes, it may have come with some tears. Yes, it may have come with some pain, but it is it is your requirement to go forward. Okay? It is the requirement you needed to go forward. This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's see. We're going to elevate this message with some more of the traditional tarot to see what other messages want to come out. We have some beautiful energy out here. Ooh, we got 5 of Wands in reverse. Okay. Compromise. The end of conflict. The end of struggle. Reaching agreements. Okay. Yes. 5 of Wands came out in reverse. That means that some things are coming to be clear. All right. It's no more fighting. It's no more struggle. We don't need to fight and struggle anymore with anybody or ourselves when we already know that this is over, right? That situation is over. What do I need to keep fighting with you for? We're not doing that no more. We're not arguing. We're not about to go back and forth with nobody about what we need for our highest good. Okay. It says, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. When you say, I am not arguing, I am not fighting, okay, I understand that part, the past, is over. I understand that that's not working for me anymore. I understand that there is something better for me. Look what happens. 10 of Pentacles. Do you see that? 10 of Pentacles, baby. Wealth, inheritance, stability, security, prosperity, family, success, comfort, abundance, long-term success, financial security, tradition, establishment, okay? Permanence. What did I tell you? We're not arguing. We're not fighting. We're not holding on to the past because I'm not missing my 10 of Pentacles. I'm not missing my 10 of Pentacles with the Justice card, with the Star card on the board, with the Sun card on the board, with the Strength card on the board. Baby, what else is there? Okay? And the Lovers. Listen, Spirit not playing. Spirit is not playing. That's what happens when you are reborn into your highest version. You get everything that you inherited, everything that was already yours. This says the accumulation. Okay, that means the coming of everything that you're supposed to get, everything. Okay. Yes, we got the Lovers came out again. All right. The Lovers came out twice. The Lovers twice. We have the Chariot. We have the Empress. Let's go. The Empress comes out and the Emperor. Okay. The Empress and the Emperor. Come on now. Three of Cups again. The Chariot. The Chariot. Victory, overcoming obstacles. Okay, willpower, self-discipline, hard work and focus, triumph, progress. Yes. Celebration, Three of Cups. Powerful. And again, that transformation is here. Once again, the rebirth is here. All right. So I feel that it wraps that up with the traditional tarot. The transformation is here. The past has already shown you what the past will bring. And you may be in a place where you can't see. Okay. Because here at the bottom, we have the Two of Swords. And his eyes is blind. He can't see. Okay. It says seeing the truth, lies being exposed, tensions released, resistant change, forced decisions, indecisions. Okay. You may be feeling like this. But this right here, if you feel like this is why faith is on the board. This is why you need to have faith. Okay. This is why you need to have faith. Because it's not for you to see. Faith says, I will see with my heart. I will trust with my heart. I know that greater is here. I know that greater is later. I know that there is more for me. Right? It's okay. You don't need to see. You don't have to see. You just need to know and trust that all this is here for you. Okay? I'm also hearing that don't be afraid to let go and be reborn. Don't be afraid of this spiritual transformation. Don't be afraid of it. Okay? Because whatever is not going to serve you in the new beginning, it cannot come. It cannot make it. I don't care how attached to it you are, how much you think you need it, it cannot come. Okay? And Spirit is saying, don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it. Okay? Let's look at some shadow work. Let's look at some shadow work. And it's okay to cry. It's okay to mourn. Okay? Because that's what's needed. Okay? As I was saying earlier about the construction workers, today they're not working because it's raining. So it's a lot of rain. And all I could think was tears. Tears, tears, tears. I felt like there's some weeping. There is some weeping going on. Okay. I've been a little emotional myself because I can feel the collective energy of mourning. Right. We are shedding and letting go of things that we believed in, things that we hoped for, things that we wanted, okay? Things that we desired, things that made us happy at one point, things that fulfilled us at one point. And now we're being asked to let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. I know I'm not singing that right. Shadow alchemy, turn shadow into gold by shifting your awareness. That is twice today. The first card said, dig deep and find the gold. Now we have turned shadow into gold by shifting your awareness, empowerment, and rebirth. Look at that, y'all. I can't make this up. And I love when Spirit comes through to confirm and confirm and confirm again, okay? The rebirth is here, okay? Look at that. Then we got break chains. The only way to overcome blocks is to confront them. Self-limiting beliefs. Okay? This is the shadow work. This is what we got to look at. Confront the blockages. That means be willing to speak your truth. Some of you may have been passively sitting in situations and going through certain things that you're now being asked to walk away from. Some of these things can only break down when you stop giving them permission to live. You know that there's some relationships, some things. For example, if you know that you are done, tired, burnt out, and finished with a certain type of work, right? A certain type of job. If you know this and you continue to show up to work every single day, punch your clock, come in on time, do the assignments, do the work, who is going to tell you that you couldn't come to work, especially when you're good at what you do? Nobody. So you're going to have to make that choice. You're going to have to cut it. You're going to have to break the chain, right? Some of you have those type of people around you that are energy vampires, who are taking from you, who are sucking you dry, who always need something, who always are consuming your energy, and you know that they are not going to stop. It is you that have to break the chain. It is you that have to have the strength to speak up and say, hey, this is not going to work. Hey, this is what I need. This is the type of relationship. This is the type of encounter. I don't like it when you just call me to dump on me. Every time we talk, you vent, you pour out how you feel, what you think, and you actually don't even take my advice most of the time. You just call me to feel better about whatever it is that you're going through. Those type of relationships are going to be ended. Those one-sided, one-way, non-reciprocal relationships are ending, right? And even if there was a time when things were good, Spirit is opening our eyes to see, wait a minute, something here is not equal. It's not balanced, okay? Why is this card here? This card doesn't belong in this deck, but it says desperate. Most situations aren't as dire as they first appear to be. Take time to make thoughtful decisions. There's no reason to rush, and always time to give yourself grace. Okay. So Spirit is saying be gentle with yourself. Okay. You don't have to rush this process. You can't rush this process. Earlier, I was telling you how I wanted them just hurry up, be done. Spirit is saying you don't have to rush. Take time to make thoughtful decisions, right? This is also reminding me of like having something to say, getting your point across. You don't have to do it in a rush, hurtful way, okay? There's no reason to rush, and always time to give yourself grace. Be gentle with yourself. Okay, the rebirth is not easy. I don't care what's on the other side. 10 of Pentacles, the sun, all this beautiful stuff is on the other side. But that is the rebirth. In the meantime, in between time, we still have to go through and feel the emotions and the energy of what it feels like for things to transform, to fall off and not make it, okay? We have to feel that, because that is what we're going to transform into our power. That is the gold. Okay. What other shadow work do we need to look at? Escapism. This one comes out again. Now you can't avoid it. All right. You can't be out here knowing that some stuff needs to be fixed and knowing that some stuff needs to fall away. But you just like, I'm not going to pay attention to it. I'm going to act like I don't know. Right. You can't avoid it. That's one thing we cannot do, but it is one thing we will definitely try to do. Okay. when some stuff is hurting and things are not working out, it's easy to go and try to grab some alcohol or some type of influences so that you don't have to think about it, so you don't have to feel it. But Spirit is saying, no, you cannot escape this. Don't try to, okay? Let it transform you. Emotional release. Letting go creates space for new beginnings. Purification and catharsis. Look at that. What is he doing? He's screaming. He's feeling them emotions. And all the emotions at the bottom are coming up to the top. He's feeling it all. Okay? This man in this picture is going through the transformation. He is emotionally releasing. A moment ago, I said those that rain today reminded me of tears. This is it. He's screaming, he crying, he feeling it. And this is how it's going to feel. Okay? I'm going to tell you, this is how it's going to feel. This has been me multiple times over the last few weeks. Okay? Feeling everything. Okay? Shedding it. Letting it hit my heart center. Letting it transform me. Letting it make me stronger. Okay? Don't try to escape those emotions. All right? You have what it takes. The strength is here. Look at that lion. Look at her. She looks calm. She looks at ease. But she knows that that lion is right there with her. This is who you are inside. You have the lion heart. If you are watching this message, if you are resonating, the lion is with you. It is part of your spirit team. It is your protector. It is your guide. It is you. Okay? You know, you have what it takes. It's not easy, but you have what it takes, okay? Let those tears fall. Feel what you need to feel. Any other shadow work messages? Arrogance. This one was already flipped over. Not seeing flaws hinders growth. No limits to learn and improve. Humility, awareness, growth. All right. We know that arrogance is a lower nature. It is a lower expression of the Leo. Okay? Being arrogant, not seeing your flaws, thinking you know it all, thinking you got it all together. That's part of escapism also. Okay? To lie to yourself, to escape the truth, to build yourself up and, you know, puff yourself up and be like, oh, I don't really care. You know, I'm this, I'm that. Nope. That's also a part of the vanity. Okay? Lying, trying to keep up with the appearances, trying to keep up with the way things look on the outside. Right? Trying to be beautiful and glamorous and trying to make yourself look all good, baby. No, when the transformation comes, it's okay to look just like this right here. Okay? When it's time to transform, when it's time to be reborn, it's okay to look like that. Okay? It's okay to realize that this thing is going to hurt. Okay? You have to feel. Okay? Look at here. Anger. Anger is another. Now we're talking shadow work here. This is how you level up. This is how you go into the rebirth, by understanding your expectations are not met, creating frustration. Express it in a healthy way. Release, growth, balance. Okay? Yes, anger is going to come up. All right? Especially when your transformation comes in the form of betrayal. When your transformation comes in the form of people lying and being deceitful and hurting you, right? You're going to be arrogant. You're going to feel like, oh, I know they didn't do this to me. I know you didn't think you was going to get away with this and so forth and so on. And I don't deserve this and all that entitled energy. Look, being angry. Listen, Spirit is saying, go on and let it out. Go on and let it out. Feel it. Don't try to escape it. Don't try to run from it. but find a healthy way to deal with it, okay? Look at, I said deception. People lying, being deceptive, right? A slippery slope erodes trust. Honesty fosters connection and authenticity. Integrity, transparency, trust. Here you go. We got anger, arrogance, and deception, right? This can be external to you, and it also can be internal to you, okay? You may have to deal with people that's arrogant and boastful and don't want to hear what you have to say if you have to speak your truth. They may get angry. They may get mad. They may try to lie, right? And be deceptive. They may try to escape what you're saying. They may try to avoid what you're saying, escape it, get away from it. They don't want to hear what you got to say. But look here, that does not change the fact that this thing is over. That does not change the fact that something has to fall away and be transformed. You just have to have the strength in the midst of all of it. Okay? You have people that try to gaslight you and try to confuse you and lie to you and manipulate you about what you feel. Spirit is saying, don't let it happen. And also, don't you do that to you. Don't lie and manipulate yourself. Don't trick yourself. Don't escape from yourself. Feel what you need to feel so that you can heal what you need to heal, okay? Because healing is here. But you do have to choose it. You do have to want it, okay? You do. You do have to do it. And you don't have to do anything, but you have to choose it in order to get it. And look at this right here. Oh, I love y'all because I know this is hard. Spirit is saying, have courage, baby. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. It says, stop hiding. Show up and let yourself be seen. Fear, vulnerability, growth. Okay? I can't help but to see these emotions, this water down here as emotions, but it also looks like a face. So to me, it's Spirit is saying that you are not alone. When you in there crying and weeping and feeling those emotions, have courage and know that you are not alone. This looks like a face here. You are not alone. And look at him. He exhausted. He tired. Okay? He is. This is him right here. Male or female, take it how it applies. This is exhausted. Screaming, hollering, falling out. Feel your emotions. And look here. Explore your feelings. Again, because Spirit is saying don't bottle it up. Delve into insecurities and unresolved emotions. Authentic closure, peace. Listen, earlier we talked about digging deep. This is what you got to dig deep on. You got to explore those feelings. Okay? It's okay to admit that you have been hurt, that you have been lied to, that people have done you wrong, that you wanted more out of what you signed up for. You didn't sign up to be no one's victim. You didn't sign up to be treated badly. No, you didn't. But that is only a expression, a form of something that is going to be transformed for something greater, okay? Yes. Feel those feelings, okay? Feel them. Feel those feelings. Let's see. Let's look at a little bit more. Because one thing about the lion is fear of your power. Look here. Power has been quietly developing inside of you, waiting to be claimed, but fear is stopping you. It's time to own your strength and unleash your magic. Look at this. Own your strength. That's when I turn this deck over, the card on the top said confront your fears. Then we got fear of your power. Right there. Coming out together. All right. Confront your fears and fear of your power. Let me tell you something. The lion is representative of power and strength and authority. As we are approaching the Leo season, you cannot be afraid of your power. Okay? You do not need to be afraid of your strength. This warrior right here, do he look afraid? Male or female, take it as it applies the energy. He's a warrior. Okay? This is our inner masculine. The lion represents our inner masculine, our inner strength. Okay? Our inner power. We will not be afraid of who we are and who we came here to be. Okay? We will step boldly into our rebirth. It says energy drain. This opportunity will deplete you, reevaluate your involvement, and seek opportunities that rejuvenate and inspire you. What is draining your energy? Because that is also what's stealing your power. What is draining your energy? Because it is also stealing your power. Okay? I'm just thinking about a phone. If your battery is low, how much time do you have until you recharge before that phone will be fully able to be used? If you are around people, places, doing things, and being in certain encounters that is draining your energy, it's also keeping you away from your power. And it's also going to keep you fearful of your power, because if someone is draining your energy, they don't want you to become the lion. If they're sucking the life out of you, if they are feeding off of your energy, they don't want you to become the emperor. They don't want you to become the emperor. They want you to continue to think that you are a victim and continue to think that you need them. They don't want you to step into your rebirth. They don't want you to realize that you are the star. Okay? So don't let energy draining people, places, or things stay in your experience. That is part of going to the rebirth. That is part of the transformation. Okay? We're going to take some more hard truths. Any other hard truths we need to look at? Ooh, that one came out slow, but it flipped over. Closed door. This path is blocked with needless complications for a reason. Respect the redirection and focus on something new or forgotten that will lead you into better alignment. Closed door. What did I tell you about that energy? Any energy drainers, right? These people, you know what this stuff is. And Spirit is saying the door on that is closed. You know what it is. You know who it is that's draining your energy, that's keeping you from stepping into your truth, that's keeping you from stepping into your power. And then I said truth, unspoken truth. There are truths that need to be addressed and can no longer be avoided. Bring these to the light to clear the path forward. Didn't I tell you that there are some things that only you can tear down by speaking your truth? There are some things that will not make it, but it takes you to put in your resignation. That person at that job that you know you're supposed to be leaving, you can't keep showing up. You got to go ahead and put that resignation in. Tell them, I'm sorry. It's time for me to go. It's time for me to close this door. Because it's no longer in alignment with me. It is no longer. And we got obligation in reverse. You are not obligated to that anymore. The door is closed. Okay? It says, your sense of duty is trapping you. Your sense of duty is trapping you. You thinking that you must stay in this place, that you must show up to this place, you must keep doing and keep going. The sense of duty is trapping you. The obligation is in reverse. You are no longer obligated to these timelines, to these people, to these things, to these habits. Let them go. It says, reevaluate your commitments and break free from restrictions that are hindering your growth. Baby, another word for rebirth is growth. Are you growing? Are you growing? Okay, you got to ask yourself, are you growing? Are you willing to close the door, speak your truth, and level up? Okay, because then we got dependent. You are no longer dependent on these situations, people, places, and things. You are no longer dependent on them. It says you rely on others and it's stopping you from claiming your power. You cannot hold on to these people. You relying onto these people, these places, these things is stopping you from your power. It's draining your energy and it's keeping you fearful of your power. Okay? It says strength comes from self-reliance. Strength comes from self-reliance. You can and you will do it. You just have to try. You can and you will do it. You just have to try. And then we got risk versus reward. The risk outweigh the potential rewards. Be realistic while weighing the pros and the cons. Baby, everything you looking for, greater is later. Greater is later. Okay? What you feel like you scared to let go of, what you scared to put down, to walk away from, is better on the other side. Okay? It is better on the other side. You have what it takes, no matter what the challenges are. Okay? You have what it takes. That is why this is coming out in Leo season, because it takes strength. Look at that. Victim mentality in reverse. That's twice. Victim mentality. It says you've been clinging to a victimization like a lifeline, becoming a prisoner of your own making. Face your role in your story. Freedom comes from accepting responsibility for your life actions. Victim mentality. Victim or warrior. Listen here. You are going to tap into your strength. You are going to tap into your power because the victim mentality is out. This came out in reverse. So Spirit is saying this is over with. You are nobody's victim. And the thing about it is, if you've been in a codependent relationship, I'm going to link my video about have I become codependent. I'm going to link that in the description below so that you can identify if you are holding on to codependent ways and mentalities. And if you are, you can release them in order to step into your power, to step into your strength, to know that you can do this, okay? I know it's shaky. I know that it's uneasy. But you have everything that you need to make it happen. Okay? You have everything you need to make it happen. Okay? To embrace the light, first acknowledge the dark. Trauma seen, go deeper. That's how we started this. We started this talking about digging deep. Okay? The inner cosmos says to embrace the light, first, acknowledge the dark. There we have it. There we have it. Okay? Your shadow and your light. Go deeper. Look at the truth. Look at the truth of what is holding you back. Look at the truth of what these relationships, these people, these jobs, these commitments, look at the truth as to what they are connected to. Okay? If you cannot realize that some of these connections are connected to your victim mentality, they're connected to your codependency, they're connected to your lack of belief in self, they're connected to your inner child wounding, they're connected to low vibrational energies, they're connected to the past of who you used to be, but they do not reflect who you are becoming. If you cannot see that, this transition is going to be difficult for you. But the moment that you open up your beautiful eyes and realize that it is time to let these things go, to mourn them, right? To dig deep within, to uncover what you need to see, right? Once you realize that, you are moving forward, right? I'm seeing the digging, and I'm hearing lay it to rest. Lay it to rest, okay? Lay it to rest. You know what that means for you. We are going to take one final oracle message to wrap this up. And we are going to go with the inner child. Because the truth of the matter is, the victim mentality, the pain, the hurt, the trauma, it don't happen overnight. It develops early on when you are a little person, when your heart is being broken and you're being neglected or wounded or unloved in a certain way as a little person. All that mistreatment that made you think that you are a victim started somewhere early. And that is what needs to be dug deep into. You have to go deep. Okay, you have to dig down to the beginning of when you felt unloved as a child, when someone hurt your feelings, when someone lied to you or neglected you or abused you. All of that created these relationships that you have held on to over the last few years of your life, for your entire existence. It don't matter how young or old you think you are, they have all accumulated to something. But they are not here to identify you as weak or to identify you as a victim. They are here to transform you, okay? They are here to transform you into the warrior, for you to tap into your strength, your power, okay? That is what they are here for. And persevere, okay? Persevere, continue. This is the plans. This is the blueprint. They're building something. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. But show up every day for you. Show up every day for you and continue to build on you. There's a ladder here. There's a ladder. Some things are being built. There's things still being worked on. This is like a construction project here. They're doing some work. And it's going to take time, and you have to persevere, okay? It's not going to be easy, but you can do it. You can let these codependent relationships go. You can let these things go. They've already given you what you needed, all right? We're going to get an inner child healing oracle message. And I just send you all so much love. If you've stayed and sat with this message as long as we've been here, I just want to commend you. I want to tell you that you are not alone, that you are loved, that you have everything it takes. It's okay to cry. It's okay to scream. It's okay to do whatever you need to do to release those emotions, because it's not easy. And please make sure you forgive those who are attached to that pain. I will also link that forgiveness message down in the description below, because we must forgive in order to heal, okay? In order for us to be reborn. It says, let love guide you. Choose to see the good in the world today. There you go. Spirit is saying, focus forward. After all the pain, after all the heartache, after all that has been done, let love guide you, because look at the rainbow. Look at that water. That is the rebirth. Okay, let's read this message and we are going to close out. It says, there is magic all around us, woven through the fabric of our existence. It weaves its threads within our lives, stretching between hearts, embracing souls, and wrapping itself within us. It is the spark, that feeling of home, that smile upon the face of a beloved friend. It is the good we see in the world and the good we carry deep inside of us all. Okay? It says, take time today to purposefully acknowledge the good things in your life. Write down all that you are appreciative for. No details is too small. As you remember all the good, let the feeling of gratitude envelop every part of your being with warmth and dazzling bright light. Okay. It says, even at times we can lose sight of the good. If you have pulled this card, then it may be time to see that magic again. So Spirit is saying, see the good in what you have experienced. See the good in all that has happened, even if it's hard. Be grateful for your past. Be thankful for your past. Forgive those who could not make it, but find the gratitude. Okay? You are loved and you are powerful. And this is just the beginning. Okay? Until next time, I am sending you so much love and so much strength on this journey. Continue to take care of yourself. If you feel that you need more help and more support on this journey, please feel free to check out the videos here and the ones in the description below. Until next time, I love y'all. Ashe.